Shalom, all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders who read Millstone. Shalom to the elect by Shem Rachak Wadash. My name is Chicago from Plaintables Camp. The Sabbath is Saturday at even. The scriptures tell you that at even you're supposed to kill the Passover. Now, you got the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Then we got the first fruits, otherwise known as Pentecost. And Pentecost means 50. All right, we're going to go over that. So, the lesson here is the strangers, when coming back to their original heritage, join themselves to the circumcision, meaning that they kept the high holy days. All right. It says in Isaiah 56 proves that there was obviously different variations, and to each man, had his own strengths and weaknesses. But it tells you within the prophecies that when the strangers came back to the Commonwealth of Israel to join themselves to the covenants, that very act was an act of obedience. It tells you here, reward for obedience toward the power. All right. So with the modern day plantation Christianity teaches that you don't have to keep any of the customs or keep any of the laws. You just got to have faith alone. Your faith alone first is, initially is good, and then you build upon that faith. And the prophecies clearly reveal that the strangers, which are Israelites that were uncircumcised, that were Hellenized, meaning they were forced under Macedonian Greek rule, right? Because they were Macedonians, they weren't Greeks, but they stole the identity of the Greeks. All right, that's another lesson. I've done that lesson. It's let's see. Greek. Macedonia and the Macedonians were never Greek. Let's type that in. Macedonia and the Macedonians were never Greek. If you want more information on that. So we got blessed. It says, thus saith Yahweh, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near and come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hands from doing any evil. Neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself unto Yahweh speak, saying, Yahweh hath utterly separated me from his people. So this right here proves that the strangers are going to be joined with the circumcision, or the house of Israel is going to come back, because there was Hellenization where you had certain Israelites that were separated. They were, they went astray from keeping, the law and believing in Yahweh. So that when the Messiah was manifest, Yahushua, he brought amongst Judah, Benjamin, Levi, he brought those men back, those men, women, and children back through faith. And through that faith, it's prophesied that they were going to, keep the Sabbaths, keep the laws, and believe in the name of Yahweh and his son Yahushua, obviously Yahushua, because Yahweh manifested Yahushua to recover the Israelites that went off from serving him. And it clearly tells you here. All right, now the word stranger is normally used for someone that's not an Israelite. All right, what proves, well, I'll pull it up real quick so you can see it. It says Nakar, normally used for someone that's not an Israelite, but this word is used for Israelites, all right, as it's used here. All right, Nakar, all right. It says foreign, alien, foreignness, that which is foreign, foreign gods, alien, foreigners, villainies. All right. So in Isaiah 56, it's used for Israelites that were in a different religion. And what proves that is that they're going to acknowledge the Sabbath, and they want to be close to the circumcision. Continue to read. You need to let the son of the strangers, or the Israelite foreigners that have joined himself unto Yahweh, speak, saying, Yahweh, so they know the name of the Most High. You know the name of the Son, hath utterly separated me from his people. You need to let the eunuch say, Behold, I am a dry tree. For thus saith Yahweh unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths and choose the things that please me and take hold of my covenant. All right. So they're acknowledging the covenant. They understand the new covenant, Barayath, which is an agreement between the Most High and the Israelites through Yahweh Shai. You go to Jeremiah 31. Behold, the day is coming, saith Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. All right. So the Nakar here is referring, in Isaiah 56, it's referring to the Israelites that were worshiping and keeping the customs of a different religion. Right, that's the new covenant. All right, I believe that's the first time new covenant shows up. Let's see. Yep. Mediator of the new covenant. All right, so if you don't acknowledge the house of Israel being involved in the new covenant, then you don't know the scriptures. It clearly says that the new covenant is for the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Because the northern kingdom was called the house of Israel, and the southern kingdom was called the house of Judah. So all the Israelites. All right. So this is the evidence that we know that the Israelites and the strangers are the Israelites, because the strangers they acknowledge the high holy days, and they're keeping them. All right. As their faith increases, because when you get faith, you receive grace, and grace builds you up in the knowledge of how to serve the Lord correctly. And Isaiah 56 is clearly telling you that the people of the covenant are adhering to the law of that covenant. We can't keep it perfectly, but in the kingdom, it's going to be in our mind, and we're going to be programmed to keep it perfectly. And the strangers, they're practicing and rehearsing the righteous acts, as it tells you here in Isaiah 56. This is what you call rehearsing. Even unto them will I give in mine house and within my walls a place and a name better than sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Also the sons of the strangers that join themselves unto Yahweh. So you can't join yourself to the Father or the Son while you're filthy. You have to clean yourself up to serve him and to do love. How you serve the Lord? You serve the Lord by keeping his commandments. All right. You have faith, and then you keep the commandments from that faith. You don't just have faith and then don't believe anything he says to do. That's how the world teaches, that you have faith, but you don't do anything to prove your faith. All right. And Isaiah 56 by itself clearly tells you, all right, that they're keeping the laws. All right. And they're doing it through faith. They're establishing it through faith to serve him and to do love and to love the name of Yahweh, to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant. All right, so we know that the Israelite foreigners and the Israelites, we all became foreign. All right, we all became polluted. So now we're rehearsing the righteous acts. All right. So you can't look down on a stranger, because we all became strangers. We all were excommunicated out of the land of Israel. In the northern kingdom, they were in the Syrian captivity, and they came to the New World. So now, today, we're coming back to our heritage, our true religion. All right, so then the car here, H5236, is for the Israelites, not people that are not of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These are the men, women, and children that are scattered throughout the earth, that heard the prophets speak, and they're gathering back their former knowledge. All right. And what are they doing? Serving the Lord, remembering the covenant, keeping the covenant. What is within the covenant? It's just a set of rules, guidelines, do's, don'ts. All right. Now in the Christian church, they'll probably break it down as having nothing to do with the laws, because they preach that you don't have to keep any law. You just have to have faith, which is insane. It's clearly telling you that there's a day of rest, all right, which we can't keep perfectly. We really can't keep it at all, but we rehearse. We abstain from cooking and pleasure. All right, but we're in Egypt. This is spiritual Egypt. You think they were taking the Sabbath off and not doing servile work in Egypt? No. It says they were it was an iron furnace, I think it said. Let's look that up. Iron. I don't know if it said furnace. Let's see. Yeah, it does say furnace. But Yahweh hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Deuteronomy 4:20. Yeah, I don't think we were taking Sabbath off. All right, so that's not a condition that we can do. Like, tell your boss, well, every month we're gonna it changes. I need 2 days off. You'll be fired. Let's get serious now. All right, but we can't abstain from doing certain things on the Sabbath. All right, it's not a. Because you can say that you keep the Sabbath, but who the hell are you lying to? You trying to convince me, or you trying to convince yourself? All right, no one keeps the Sabbath perfectly. Not in this kingdom. Not in Egypt. America's spiritually Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord's identity was stolen. All right. Now people believe he's a so-called white man. All right. So that's pretty much it. That's the. I got a few more things. Leviticus goes into the Passover and first fruits, which is the Pentecost. So when you look up the Sabbath, the Passover, you can go to Exodus, but you can go to Leviticus 23 and 5. It says, in the 14th day of the first month at even is Yahweh's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is a feast of unleavened bread unto Yahweh. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. So we have the Passover. We're going to have Passover Saturday at at even. Or we're going to start the ceremony before the sunset into the sun setting. All right. And then we're going to eat the Passover lamb. And then we're going to drink wine and eat unleavened bread. And for 7 days, we're going to eat unleavened bread and a bitter herb. All right. And the first day, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no sort of our work therein. Yeah, so traditionally we do take off, but I would say most of us are able to take off. You got to plan ahead. This is a serious day. So this is something that you take very seriously. You plan ahead to take off. All right. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh 7 days. All right. So in ancient world, we did animal sacrifices. Now Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, is our sacrifice. So there is no need to do animal sacrifice for forgiveness of sins. All right. It's not a custom that we keep anymore because of the Messiah was manifested to take away our sins. All right. So we don't do that part. In the seventh day is a holy convocation. You shall do no sort of our work therein. So really we're supposed to have on the next Saturday, I believe that's 7 days, we're supposed to have another gathering. All right, the convocation. We got Maquarah, reading a calling together. Korah, calling together. I know that means what? Calling, right? Cry. All right, of the calling. Assembly. Yeah, sacred assembly. All right. We read, Lord's Prayer, prayers, curses, review things. All right. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh 7 days. All right, so again, we don't keep the animal sacrifice because the Lord is our sacrifice. And these Old Testament only people that don't believe in the new covenant, they should still be doing animal sacrificing. Because we don't do it because Yahweh Shai is our sacrifice. He's our Passover. He passed over from destroying us when we had the blood on the door. So we keep that same tradition. So the Passover is really a celebration of Yahweh, the spirit, Yahweh Shai passing over the destroyer, Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, passing over us and slaughtering the firstborn of the Egyptians. All right. Now, right after the Passover, we have the first fruits, which is Pentecost. So we're confused on what the what's after the Passover is. The first fruits, Pentecost, which we don't. You have to have land to actually keep it, and it would have to be the first of the harvest. So when you reap the field, you gather the first, obviously the best too. Not, you don't want to have it like rotten or anything like that, because the priests actually consume it. So the best of the first fruits you would gather and you would give to the priests, which are the Levites, the tribe of Levi, the so-called Haitians. All right, speaking to the sons of Israel and saying unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, ye shall reap the harvest thereof. Then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and ye shall wave the sheaf before Yahweh to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath. The priest shall wave it, and ye shall offer that day when ye wave the sheaf a lamb without blemish. Yahweh Shai is our lamb, our Passover, of the first year for a burnt offering unto Yahweh. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto Yahweh for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of a hin. And ye shall eat neither bread nor parched corn nor green ears until the self same day that ye have brought an offering unto Yahweh. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in your dwelling places. All right. So we're supposed to keep the first fruits, but we don't have any land because we're in captivity again. All right. And the system is not set up, that, normal people have, land. All right. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh. So this all has to do with having land. 50, that's the Pentecost. The word Pentecost means 50. Now get that. And ye shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave offerings. All right, so let me click here, and I'm going to put cross-reference. Acts, the 2nd chapter is going to come up. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. So that means the Sabbath, the Passover, they just had celebrated the Passover. All right. So I think I have Pentecost up. No, let me get Passover. H6453. We got Pesach. Passover, sacrifice of the Passover. And let's look it up in the Greek. What does it say? The 14th day of the 5th month of even is the Lord's Passover. Right there, Pesach. Or Pascha. Yeah, Pascha in the Greek. Where does it show up? Passover. Easter. So we don't celebrate. That's why you got to go into the Greek and the Hebrew. Intending after Easter. After the Passover. No damn Easter. Paschal Lamb. Alright, so we're going to Acts, the 2nd chapter. Day of Pentecost. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. So basically, Acts, the 2nd chapter proves that the Israelite foreigners were keeping the laws. They came back to Jerusalem to celebrate a high holy day spoken about in Leviticus 23rd chapter. And they brought their first fruits from where they lived. Or they brought their offerings, because not everybody had land, so they brought their offerings. All right, so we got to do the best we can, because it's not going to be perfect. You think it was perfect back then? It wasn't perfect back then either. All right. We got wave it. And we shall reap the harvest of your land. Wave them first fruits. Flour. 50 days. Leviticus 23 and 16. All right, which is Pentecost. Now the word Pentecost is Pentecoste, which means 50 or 50th. All right. I don't know if I made this mistake. It can't have said a different number. If I did, I'm going to correct it here. Pentecost means 50 or 50th. Pentecoste. All right, the second of the three great Israelite festivals celebrated over Jerusalem yearly, the seventh week after the Passover, in grateful recognition of the completed harvest. All right, so this whole thing, you don't got to keep the laws, and it was not a custom to keep the laws. There are examples of the Israelite foreigners keeping the laws, and some of them not keeping the laws. All right, we know as your faith increases, you're going to keep the laws. All right, and there's an example. The first fruits or Pentecost was being kept by Israelites that were foreign to Israel. All right, and they were dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. All right, because you go back to Acts 15 chapter, it says staying from blood and staying strangled. So, when you first come to the faith, you got to build up your faith. You got some people that are very weak, all right, and don't really know what they're involved in, like our apostles and elders say from time to time. All right, then you have other brothers that are very serious. All right, and they say, well, I'm keeping the Sabbath, the best of my ability. I'm not going to eat pork. I'm not going to commit adultery and all that. So it depends on how much of the Spirit, the dispensation of the Spirit that was given to you. But ultimately, it all leads to, perfection, and we'll obtain that in the kingdom. All right, so we know the prophets are definitely going to be the most, they say, strict. All right, they're going to have the most works because the prophets are special. Then you have the masses of the converts, right? Different variations of faith amongst them. All right. So these are Jews out of every nation under heaven. All right. It doesn't say that they were those nations. It just says they were Israelites, devout men out of every nation under heaven. But some idiots who read, as soon as you see the name of another nation, it's talking about the other nation. It just gave you the heading that this are the people who are coming back to Jerusalem to worship the second greatest day in Israel. But yet you don't got to keep none of the laws. Well, apparently these Israelites that were coming back from these lands were keeping the law. All right. They were in Jerusalem to celebrate a holy day. All right. So if you can't see that, then I guess you're blind. Say the day of the first fruits, Pentecost. All right. Bakawar. That's Pentecost in Hebrew. Or not Pentecost, first fruit in Hebrew. Pentecost. Pentecoste. Acts 2:1, Pentecost. Acts 20:16, and Galatians 6, or 1 Corinthians 16:8. All right. Carry Ephesus into Pentecost. So these Christians are liars too, because they say you don't have to keep any of the laws. So why the hell were the Israelites coming back? And if you don't believe these were Israelites, why the hell were heathens coming to Jerusalem to keep the laws? Pentecost is a law. All right, or 50th day, the first fruits. All right, so that's my pre-Passover lesson, and it's pretty simple. It's not like an advanced lesson. You just can't be like an idiot. When you come to the faith, your intelligence has to increase. You have to have reading comprehension. All right. You have to read on your own and take notes, highlight things, write things down. All right. So I'll leave that there. Hope you edified. Shalom.